So this is my blank arc map. I am navigating to my folder, and all that I am doing is I am bringing in my corrected data set, that is all the bands which are corrected for top of atmosphere radiance: band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5, band 6, band 7. That's all that I am doing, bringing all the corrected bands over here. All these bands basically have the same properties. So we will read properties of any one band and try to understand what is the pixel area. Okay, so you, sit with some notebook and a pen so that you note this down, because repeatedly we might will not be able to open the source information while we are working with other tool. No, we might not be able to repeatedly open it. So what I'm doing, I'm selecting my band 1 and right clicking on it and go to properties. Under properties, if I go to source, all the information pertaining to this particular band is available. Okay, and most of the information is similar. For example, how many columns and rows are there in this particular image. Then there are 7681 columns and 7841 rows. Okay, these rows and columns I am referring to the satellite imagery. If I keep zooming onto this imagery, I will see these pixels, right? They are arranged in rows and columns, and these rows and columns are in this number. So there are 7,681 columns and 7,841 rows. Number of bands, just one. It's just one band, that is band 1. And then similarly, this band 2 will also be having just one band, that is band 2. What is the cell size? It is 30 meter by 30 meter. That means each pixel that we see here, it has two sides, A and A, right? Both of them are 30 and 30. So 30 meter by 30 meter is how much? 30 meter by 30 meter is how much? How much do you think 30 by 30 is? 30 into 30? It's around 900 meter, right? 900 meters square. So this area that is covered by just one pixel is 900 meters square. 30 into 30. Okay. Then moving on, let's yet again go there to properties. Under properties, we go to source, and then we see that it is a 32-bit image, floating points type, and then color map is absent right now because it is all in mm, only in black and white, that is grayscale. And what else do we need to know? These are the extent, that is top corner, then extent the top of this image is up to this particular latitude range in terms of UTM. This is towards left, this is towards right, this is towards bottom, and the zone 43 is followed by this particular image. If you have taken any image towards the east, then corresponding zone will come. Then what else do we need to know here? Yeah, this should be enough. Okay, so 30 by 30, remember that. Now what we will do is we will go ahead for finding out NDVI values for this. Okay, NDVIs. I have already corrected this particular data. Yes,
I'm
tell me.
trying to add this land data, but uh, this chart is coming saying pyramid building may take a few moments. We would like to create pyramids. This raster data.
Okay, okay.
I'm
Yes,
showing
okay, you say.
yes.
Tell me.
This chart is coming, ma'am, saying this raster data source does not have pyramids or contain insufficient pyramids. Pyramids allow for rapid display at varying resolutions. Pyramid building may take few moments. Would you like to create pyramid. Yes.
Continue. Yes, 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 yes. Continue. Okay. So if you have your data in front of you, then we will go ahead, right? Anusha, what we are doing is we have opened arc map where all our atmospherically corrected bands are loaded. Okay, all 7 bands are loaded, and we are right clicking on any one band, going to properties. Under properties we are going to source, and we are reading all the information pertaining to this particular band. So we were essentially interested in what is the cell size. So the cell size is 30 meter by 30 meter. It essentially comes in meter because our UTM zone 43 is also in, or all our universal transverse Mercator scales are in meter. So everything that shows up here is in meters. So our cell size, that is our pixel size, is 30 meter by 30 meter. All these pixels that we see here, they are all 30 meters by 30 meters. So that's all that you need to know for now. Now what we will do, we will go ahead for finding out what is the NDVI of this particular image. My image is without any cloud. There is absolutely no cloud cover in this. Let me, yes. So we will go for calculating NDVI. How do we go for calculating NDVI? We go to Arc Toolbox. If you're still behind somewhere, yet to load your data, yet to read the properties, then you tell me and I will halt. Okay, so under tools, I go to spatial analysis tools, and under tools, there is one tool that we have already learned, which is raster calculator. Do you remember this? This is a very interesting tool. We end up using it many times. Okay, so for now, we are going to find out what is NDVI, Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, which speaks of health of the forest or health of the vegetation, growth stage of vegetation, density of vegetation, or whether there is any disease to this vegetation. These are the parameters that this one value, which is NDVI, speaks of. Have you heard of NDVI, Normalized Difference Vegetation Index? Have you heard of this NDVI? Have you heard of NDVI? Okay. So because we are using Landsat 8 imagery, let's yet again look at its band composition. Our band 1 is, you will see, is coastal aerosol. It is used to study the atmospheric composition. Then band 2 is blue. It is a sensor which sees blue component in any object, may it be water, may it be vegetation, may it be any feature that is lying on the planet. Then we have green, which is indicative of chlorophyll. Higher the chlorophyll content, higher will be the reflection in green color, because of which we perceive green vegetation. Otherwise, vegetation cannot accept green, that is why it reflects it back, right? And then we have this red band, and then we have this near infrared band. We have three infrared bands, that is, one is near infrared, and two bands, that is band 6 and band 7, are in shortwave infrared. All of them are at different bandwidths. Okay, now coming back to this image, you will see that healthy vegetation when it is healthy, right, then what it does, it absorbs a lot of red color and reflects away a lot of near infrared as well as green, right? But when that vegetation gets disease, some disease it catches, or that it becomes old enough such that now the leaves are going to be shed. So what happens to these leaves? They start absorbing green and then reflecting away red, and the near infrared reflection also decreases. Earlier, the healthy vegetation can reflect a lot of NIR, 50% of it, whereas when it comes to this stressed vegetation or disease carrying vegetation or old vegetation wherein the leaves are just going to be shed, what happens? The near infrared reflection decreases, as well as red gets more reflected away. But earlier in healthy vegetation, red is absorbed to what extent? Around 92% of red radiation is absorbed. Whereas now what is happening? Around 30% of it is getting reflected, and only 70% is getting absorbed. Okay. So the formula to find out NDVI in terms of mathematical operation is near infrared minus red divided by near infrared plus red. Very simple formula, right? Very simple formula. Which means what? Whichever satellite data that we take, it has to have these two components if we want to use it to find out NDVI, or normalized difference vegetation index. If you're sitting with a book, you may write down what this NDVI tells us. NDVI tells us about what is the density of the vegetation, whether that vegetation is carrying some disease, or whether it is healthy. If it is healthy, to what extent it is healthy. If it is carrying disease, then to what extent it is carrying disease. If it is rare, that is very scanty vegetation, then that also is indicated to us. So many different features can come together and gives a cumulative effect to this NDVI value. So any satellite data that we take, whether we take Landsat 8 or Landsat 9 or Landsat 7, or we take maybe a list for that data that we have downloaded earlier, or if we take any kind of data, Sentinel also you take, or NV data also you take, any kind of data that you take, it has to have these two bands, that is near infrared and red. Coming back to our Landsat data, we have red band and near infrared band as well in Landsat 8. Our near infrared band is band 5 and our red band is band 4, right? Now let's come here and put this in this particular equation. So near infrared is our band 5, band 5 minus red, that is band 4. So it is band 5 minus band 4 divided by band 5 plus band 4. Very simple, right? That will give us NDVI. Only that our data has to be corrected beforehand, and then we can go ahead with calculating NDVI. So what it is? Band 5 minus band 4. Let's put this in a bracket, okay, and then divided by band 5 plus band 4, right? Now for different satellite data, the band will differ, so we only need to understand which one is near infrared band of the satellite image that we are using. If we are using Sentinel, then it is not necessary that band 5 will be near infrared band or band 4 will be red band. It could be something else. Similar is the case even when it comes to LIS4. If we are using LIS4, then you have to identify which band is near infrared and which band is red. So if we come back to this formula, NDVI can be found out by near infrared minus red divided by near infrared plus red. Okay. Now coming back to here, let's save this particular band and we call it NDVI. Okay, NDVI. And what is the date of this particular image? Let me just find it out. What is the date? Date of this satellite data is 2024 12/19. That is December 19th of 2024. So let's save this. NDVI of 2024 December 19th, right? And because it is a raster image, it is a photographic image, we will give it an extension which is .tiff, all right? And then we save this and we hit OK. Have you already wrote your formula? Formula is written. Shall I go ahead and click OK? If you're stuck somewhere, then we will redo this.
Doing, ma'am.
Okay. Have you understood the formula? If you have not understood the formula, you have to tell me about this. This is the simplest one. Henceforth, the technique will be same, only that I will throw the equation at you and you will have to figure out which bands you will use. So this is not really the consistent equation, right? The equation in fact is near infrared minus red. So we have to identify which is near infrared band, which is red band, and accordingly we will be able to do the rest.
Ma'am, why did we select band 5 and band 4 specifically?
Yes, we have chosen band 5 and band 4 because our band 5 on Landsat 8, band 5 is near infrared, and the equation tells us not which band we need to take, because this equation can be used across any satellite data. We need near infrared band minus red band divided by near infrared band minus red band. So this equation doesn't tell us which satellite data to use. But since we are using Landsat 8, let's look at its bands. Band 1 is coastal aerosol, band 2 is blue, band 3 is green, band 4 is red, band 5 is near infrared. So we are interested in near infrared and red band. Near infrared band on Landsat 8 is band 5. So band 5 and red band is band 4. So band 5 minus band 4 divided by band 5 plus band 4. Accordingly, we have done this. Okay. So let me give you another example. So this is um, this particular table is for LIS4 data. If you remember, last time we had downloaded LIS4 data, right? Wherein the resolution is much better. Resolution is around 4.8 to 5 meter, 5 meter by 5 meter. What we are working on is Landsat data. Landsat data is 30 meter by 30 meter. So can you tell me what will be the NDVI formula for this LIS4? Can anybody tell me? Can we use these list for data to find out what is NDVI value? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And what will be the equation?
Band 4 minus band 3 divided by band 4 plus band 3.
Yes. Good. Very good. Correct. Okay. Let me drop this image over here. Okay. So now shall we hit OK? Are you ready with your formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, should we
Okay.
save it in TIFF format, ma'am?
Yes, we will save it in TIFF format.
Ma'am, actually there was an error when I clicked OK on that formula.
There was an error.
Yes.
What did the error say? You can uh, go to geoprocessing, where there is results written, right? So if you go to this results, open it, and then go to current raster calculator, NDVI input, and what is the message. So find out what your message says. find out what your message says. Meanwhile, let us look at this NDVI. So this NDVI also looks how it is all in grayscale, but then the value should be between -1 and +1. Okay, -1 and +1. Remember carefully, NDVI values will always be between -1 and +1, wherein if NDVI values are above 0, then they indicate vegetation parameters, its health, its growth stage, or its decaying, its disintegration, or what is its density. That is all that it talks about in terms of cumulative effect. But if the value is less than 0, that means in negative, then what it is we don't really know. It might be some what we say. It might be some water body without any vegetation, that is phytoplankton, or it could be some built-up land, or it could be barren land, completely barren land. So multiple possibilities are there, but we don't know exactly what it is. But we know it for sure that anything above 0 or in positive is all vegetation of different density, of different vegetation, of different health parameter, of different stages of growth. Okay, now let's make it colored. Let's give it some green color. Okay, so I've given it this red color. Red color indicates lower NDVI values, and this darker green indicates high NDVI values. All right. Now let me make it a little more clear. How do I do it? I go here to symbology. Under properties, I go to symbology, and then I say classified. Okay, let me classify it, and let us go to this particular classify, because let us choose some classes that we are interested in. Okay, and instead of choosing natural breaks, let me take manual method. Under this manual method, the maximum negative value that I have is -0.71, right? So what I do, I just go here and hit -0.72. Okay, I have just rounded it up. It is otherwise 0.71. No, so instead of that, I'm just giving 72 such that everything comes there. All right, and then here I'm giving 0, because everything below 0 is something that I am not interested in, right? Then next, let's give here 0.25. Okay, and then 0.5. I'm just giving these values, no, 0.5, then 0.75, and I'm choosing 0.75 because my maximum value is 0.64. All right, my maximum value is 0.64, so I'm already within that particular
Can you
range.
please redo it? That classification dialog box is not opening in this, ma'am.
Here we go to symbology. Under symbology we go to classified, and under classified we go to this classify, right? See, symbology, right click on your NDVI image that has been created. If your image is still not created, you have to ask me. Okay, and then these
Yes,
are the
ma'am. Now I
classes that
got
I
it.
have got. Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so right now it is coming opposite. Let me choose some other one. This seems to be better. So red values indicate everything that is mm, in negative. Let me just apply this. Seems slightly off. Let me create it yet again. Uh, okay, let me just delete this. Simply doing some corrections, because you see I've got two values no here. So instead I want to give it like this has to come and this should not come. So for that, what I do, I just choose 5 number of classes again, then go here, and here I hit 0. So anything that is below 0 is all non-vegetation. And then here 0.25, and then 0.5, then 0.75, and since I told you that the value is never going to exceed plus 1, so let me give it 1. Okay, so this is the value that I'm giving. I'm hitting OK. I have 5 classes, so all negative values come in one class, and then for the positive values itself I have made 4 classes. Interval is placed at every 0.25 value or ratio. It's a ratio. Okay, and then I hit apply, and then OK. So now you will see that wherever I have vegetation, it has turned out to be either yellow, some vegetation is there, then brighter green, and then darker green, and then darkest green. But I see that the darkest green values or even these darker green values are nowhere achieved. That means my vegetation has a poor health, or that it has a very lower values of NDVI. Okay, that is what it means. Here at the very top of the mountain, no, I see some higher values which are between the range from 0.5 to 0.75. All right, but within there itself, I again see some very red regions. That means lower NDVI values or negative NDVI values. There might be some water. This could be some water. Let's just check what it is. Let me load the composite image. Composite image which I had made for this. Let me just bring this up. Okay. Yes, it is a water body. See that? This is a water body, right? This is a water body. And that is what can be seen. NDVI values are negative for it. Okay. Have you done this? Have you understood this? That's the only hill. I don't know whether there are. Yes, here also there are some darker green values. That means the vegetation is in excellent stage over here, state over here. Maybe that it is not disintegrated here. Whereas everywhere else it seems to be maybe scanty vegetation, or maybe something that is degraded, fragmented vegetation. Then as we go away from Mumbai region here in this particular uh, satellite imagery, we again see that the values are reaching higher NDVI strength. Okay, whereas you see this is the Mumbai region, and that is all red. That means there is absolutely no vegetation. That maybe at least this image could not pick it. Okay, now if you are ready with this, let's go ahead with calculating area of each class. So we right click on this, go to properties, and let me just calculate these unique values. Unique values do not exist. Do you want to compute unique values? Yes, I want to compute unique values. Okay. No, it's still not doing it. Wait. Okay, vector field. Okay, let it be. Let's not do it there, but we will go to this arc toolbox again, and we will go to search. We'll go to search. If you are not able to see search option, no, it will be here under geoprocessing, search for tools. Go there and write build attribute table. So there is one tool available which says build raster attributable table. If you want to know where it is in data management. It is under data management tools. So if you want to go to it through this arc toolbox, we have to go to data management tools, and under data management tools we go to raster Under raster processing. Uh, no, not under raster processing. Raster properties. Build raster attributable tables. So we go to data management tools. Under data management tools, raster. Under raster properties. And under raster properties, build raster attributable table. So this is the tool that we are taking, because right now if I right click on this, my open attributable table is not yet populated. So attributable table is not, attribute table is still not built. So we will have to build it. How do we build it? We use this particular tool, which is build raster attribute table, and then we choose that NDVI value. NDVI integer raster is invalid, single band integer raster is invalid. Okay, fine. uh, okay, because our NDVI values right now are in decimal, no, that is why it is not taking it up. Okay, but we have other ways to do it. Properties. If you're stuck somewhere, you tell me.
Ma'am, can you please show again that how to do the values?
How to do the values, that is make classes, right? So we right click, go to symbology. Under symbology, we have this column which says show, right? There vector is located, unique values are there, classified is there. We go for classified, and under classify we go to this classify. See this, five classes, and then again classify. Some classification values will be already made based on natural break, but then we don't want that. We want to give our own scale or our own intervals. For that we go to classify, and we give all these classes, because our values are ranging from -1 to +1. But in this particular very specific NDVI image, our maximum value is 0.64, not really 1, and then minimum value is minus 0.71. So we have to give them a standard range. No matter which image we take, all of them will be able to fall in this particular category. This 0 means the first break is placed at 0. That means anything that is below 0 is non-vegetation. That is why we are using 0 value. After that, anything that is above 0 is all vegetation, right? So for all that vegetation, we are making these classes. What are these classes? These classes are placed at 0.25 interval, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and then 1. Okay, and then we hit OK. Then we hit OK. Okay, now those values have come here. I can also give them some labels, no? For example, this. I have just clicked here on the label, and I'm saying non-vegetated land. Okay, this is a non-vegetated land. 0 to 0.25, let's call it unhealthy vegetation. Unhealthy vegetation. It's not necessarily unhealthy, it might be a very young vegetation. That is why it doesn't have chlorophyll content to a highest level, such that it can absorb a lot of red. That is also there. But then just to give it some parameter, no, some classes, we are doing this unhealthy vegetation, and then moderately healthy vegetation. Moderately healthy vegetation. Next is healthy vegetation, healthy vegetation, and then very healthy vegetation, very healthy vegetation. Okay, and let me just convert this V to capital V, that will look better. The vegetation, yes, done. And then I hit apply, and then okay. Now you see that everything will show up as this is non-vegetated land, red is non-vegetated land, yellow is unhealthy vegetation or maybe disintegrated vegetation or degraded vegetation, anything you can say. Moderately healthy vegetation, these are just classes that I am making. You can make them as per your requirement. Okay, so someday you might have visited here and noted down what is the health of the vegetation, so you bring that point along with you, and then once you have done NDVI, go to that particular point, okay, and see whether it is really healthy or not, or what was your observation, field observation, and accordingly you write. Then you also go to another extreme place where the vegetation is degraded, and then note down. Accordingly you can give them more field oriented or field observed field observations can be used to classify your NDVI values for your particular study area. Alright, so this is about NDVI. Now let's calculate what is the area, for which that raster attribute thing is not working. So what we will do is get cell values. Let me just try this one. Get cell values. No, no. Build pyramids. Input raster data. Okay. Let me see if it gets built. Pyramids will be built, but raster table, attribute table, I don't know. Attribute table is not getting built. Okay, anyway, there is another way. What we will do, we will yet again go to this data conversion tools. Conversion tools. Here, under conversion tools, what we will do, this is a raster data, right? So from raster, we will convert it into polygon, raster to polygon. So now which is that input raster? It is this NDVI value. We hit OK, and then output polygon feature. We hit this field option. Field option is not there. Field option is not there. My God, we will have to do this. Give me a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just counting how many decimals are there. There are 9, and let me stick to the third one. So if I want to convert this into an integer, then I will have to multiply this by 1000, right? Do you agree with me? If I multiply this value by 1000, then what will happen? Then I will get an integer. Just keep this in mind, okay? Let's do it that way. I will yet again go to special analyst tool where I have raster calculator. I go to raster calculator. I take this NDVI and multiply it by 1000. Okay, I am multiplying it by 1000. So then if I want to reduce it by 3 decimal, then I'll be able to do it. Okay, so right now what I will do, I will just call it NDVI, and I am multiplying it by 1000. So I will remember that this is my NDVI which has been multiplied by 1000, and I save this. Okay, saving this. You will understand why I am doing this. These are some small tricks, no, that we have to do, because often the raster data is in decimal. So if it is in decimal, we won't be able to utilize it. That is the problem with it. Now let's create an integer of this. Okay, so for that we have to use another, that is int. It is under math. Right below this map algebra which has raster calculator, go to math and go to integer. And here now you drop this NDVI value which is multiplied by 1000 and hit OK. I think I saved it in a default folder. I must have not done that. I think I did that. Don't save it in a default folder. I'm just removing it. Huh? I hope you're there with me. You're doing this, right? If you're stuck somewhere, please tell me. This NDVI value that I have multiplied by 1000, I bring it here and now I create an int of it. So I yet again take this NDVI 1000 and
And if I am
int.
multiplying it with 1000, it is showing some error.
What error is it showing?
The error is trace back, failed to create raster data, failed to
Okay,
execute raster calculator.
okay, okay. Uh, Try it again. Try it again. Maybe we
Can you
might
show
have
it
forgot.
again with popular pen?
Try it again, and this time give it an extension. No, that
Ma'am,
is
can you show it again, ma'am?
yes, yes. Which one you want me to show? Multiplying it by 1000. No.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we come here, we open this raster calculator where we bring our NDVI value. This NDVI value that we have classified no, in different colors, non-vegetated to have very healthy vegetation, that we bring here and then use this multiplication and then 1000. Okay. And then go to our folder and save the same NDVI file, but this time you add 1000 in front of this NDVI, so it tells you that you have multiplied your NDVI values here by 1000. Okay, and then hit save. .tif extension must be given to it and then hit OK. So now your NDVI value will be multiplied with 1000 such that it will have now 3-digit value or maybe 2-digit value like that. Okay. So raster calculator has already made our NDVI 1000. It will look same. If you want to make it look like that NDVI value that you have added, no, you can do it, and you will see that it has the same kind of color. The color is not changing essentially because we are simply multiplying it by a multiple of 10, right? Then,
Ma'am, again the same error is occurring.
hi, okay, you want to display your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How
Is
about
it
the
visible?
others? Yes, yes. How about the others? Is it going well?
This is the error.
Okay.
Is it visible,
Uh,
ma'am?
yes, slightly blurred, but that might be to do with my this. Can you read the error message? What does the error message say?
It's showing it here, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am? I have my mouse. I have put it on that one.
Yeah, the slightly blurred, no, for me. Okay. What does it say? What does the message say? Error message. The one which is red, no, error, error number, and then okay, it's okay. We will go to raster calculator. Double click on raster calculator.
Yes, ma'am.
I think your NDVI 1000 values are already created, right? See there, isn't it?
Okay.
It's,
Okay,
it's
ma'am. It
already
has
created.
come here.
It has come, no? At times that error
Ma'am,
message
but
it
this
shows.
network box is showing.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now try to use int function int right below map algebra. There is math. Yes, and there
Okay,
is
ma'am.
int. Int means integer. We are converting everything to integer because right now there is. You will see that your three values have some decimal still, right? So those decimal values will be taken off.
Okay. So shall I save it, ma'am?
Yes, yes. So you save it as int. Okay, you have done that, right? NDVI 1000 INT. Yes. Okay. Now zoom out.
It is fully blue, ma'am.
Fully black. It's only 240 that it is showing, no? Oh, your values, no, high
Yes,
to
ma'am.
low, both are 240. That means we have to redo that raster calculator. Go to raster calculator. Raster calculator. Choose your NDVI image that you have classified. NDVI,
This one,
only
no?
NDVI. Yes, that first created one, no? NDVI value multiply 1000. Okay, and then save that output raster. Save it to your folder. Call it NDVI 1000. Yes, and then dot .tip is given, right? And then hit OK. Save.
Yes.
Let's see now what it does. Just close that raster calculator, that hammer that has come, no? Close it down. And now it is created. Are you still getting the same values? Just check.
And I calculated it 3 times. It gives me the result like it says data calculated, but in I don't get the result layer like you are getting it.
Okay. Uh, Go to classify. What is your maximum and minimum value?
Ma'am, my maximum ranges from 0.240. It's just a very minute difference, ma'am.
Minute difference. Close it down. Close it down. We will
I
have to
have
redo the
opened,
NDVI. Nimisha, you tell me.
ma'am, I have
Oh,
opened.
My
yes, yes.
maximum value is 0.654.
And least value is
Least value is minus 0.71.
okay. That is good. All right. Anusha, we will redo the NDVI. Okay, close this one down. We will redo the NDVI. Close this down. Go to raster calculator.
Shall I remove it all?
Yes, just remove them all. Select all of them. Hold on to control button and select all those layers and just remove them. We only require the corrected values. That is top of atmosphere
Shall I do
radian.
it in a new one, ma'am?
Okay. Okay, Nimisha, and then did you multiply your NDVI with 1000?
Yes, ma'am, I multiplied and it said raster data calculated, but it did not give me the resulted layer. And I also checked my file explorer. I did not find the what you say, the
The
data.
layer, okay, the layer was not added only, no?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now try redoing it, multiplying it by 1000. Try redoing it, and this time save it in your file, the file that you have made, no? And see if that file is already there.
Okay,
If the
ma'am.
file is already there, then take the same file. Okay. Rusha, are you stuck somewhere or could you do this?
No, ma'am, I'm stuck with the values. It is
Uh,
showing error, the calculation.
Raster calculator. Could you get NDVI values?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you do the same thing what Nisha is doing, no? Um, Add all your top of atmosphere radiance files, all band 1 to band 7, add them to your ArcMap.
That is, I have added all the
Now
band.
I'm adding it. Now